Good morning, you guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to share with you a day in my life. That's the video that you're going to be watching as I go through this particular March day. And while you're watching that, I am going to share with you an article that I wrote, or at least parts of it, that I wrote about, 16 years ago or something. I had a big website, The Family Homestead, and I was going through some of my articles and I saw this and I thought, this is still such an important message to share today. Does a homemaker have a positive effect on her family today? In this day and age where it seems like children are being raised by daycare centers, schools, babysitters, husbands are fending for themselves as they go to work every day, it's hard for me to imagine that a mother at home or a wife at home would not be providing loving care and support and would not have a positive effect on her family.
With 50 men to run ahead of him, his father had never rebuked him by asking, "Why do you behave as you do?" Then let me advise you.
In the end, it'll only be a woman's love that will make the biggest difference for the life of her husband and her family. She's going to be the only one who will truly care about the condition of her children's hearts, her husband's countenance, and, always providing that sanctuary and refuge to him and the children in an oftentimes chaotic and stressful world. I think that's even more so the case today than it was years ago. I realize the focus of today for so many is on the financial. It is getting harder to live in this society on one paycheck. It does take a lot of determination and commitment to be able to do that. Years ago, I had a mother tell me that she said, I'm willing to live in a single wide trailer with our 5 children if that was the only option that allowed me to stay at home. And I think because staying home and caring for your home is a value. Often it has to be a value that is more important than the allure of the material. But at the same time, I do realize that there are many women that must work for various reasons. So what I'm sharing today is in no way a judgment on any lady that works and has a heart for her home, because you have to do what you have to do in this world today. I recognize also that we're all in different places in life, and sometimes we just have circumstances that are beyond our control. And over the years, I have always felt that my main ministry was to encourage the homemaker who stays at home to care for her husband and or her family, but I in no means am neglecting the wife that is working and still has a love for her home. So what kind of positive effect can being a homemaker have on your husband? Over the years, my husband worked for 33 years at the airline, and he had various jobs prior to that in school, but he was an aircraft mechanic, and he worked a difficult shift. It was graveyard. He worked every night, and he did that for most of his 33 years. And he so appreciated the fact that every day when he left for work, I was always home. I made it a point to always be there when he left for work, and I hand him his lunch and his hot cup of coffee, give him a kiss as he walks out the door for work. And I remember him making comments when he would talk about how so many men could not believe that he came to work each day with that homemade lunch, and which usually consisted of sandwiches made on homemade bread, containers of cooked soup and stews and other types of meals, savory meals that were always home cooked, homemade cookies and more. And it was always my hope that for many of them, they could actually see the picture of what it looked like to have a wife who is at home and there to benefit and support him in a positive way. And maybe some of these men would rethink the value of having a wife at home. In today's society, it just does not seem that these things happen. I think we've been fed the line that says a woman at home is a waste of a positive financial resource. And that is really a shame. And if you have children at home, I think even more so, that you will have a positive effect on them. Because the needs of a child go way beyond being clothed and fed. A child needs to be nurtured. We had a family friend at one time that recalled a difficult time in his life as a young boy. He had a lot of feelings of insecurity. And he remembers one day he was at home after school and there was no one home for him. And he felt very alone and very insecure. He walked over to the woman who lived next door to him and he just asked her if, he could come in and just be with her until his mom got home. And she let him in her home and she gave him something to eat and he sat and watched TV with her. And, it made me think that I really didn't ever want my children to have to go to a neighbor's house to find a mother's security. God gave me these babies to love and protect and nurture and to provide for not only their physical well-being, but their emotional well-being too. And I think the list could go on and on of the positive effects a homemaker has for her family and her home. We have to always remember if we do have children, who's giving the children their values? Is it us as their parents? Is it a babysitter? Is it a daycare center? Who is concerned about your family's health? Is it the fast food industry, the local deli down the street, the take and bake pizza place? I don't think that they really care about your family's nutrition, but you do care about what your family eats. And in the end, you have to ask yourself, who is the most concerned about the day-to-day needs of those that God has placed in your life? And you know that no one, no matter how well-meaning, can care more than you do for your own family. So yes, in the end, there are sacrifices to make, but there are always going to be sacrifices to make to achieve anything worthwhile. As they say, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But I think that is what makes it a value to cherish and protect. And I know for me personally, it's the reason that I have said no to so many of the trappings, I guess you could say, of this world. In the end, I have just trusted the Lord to meet the needs that we have and to serve Him by serving the ones that I hold so dear to my heart. So I have to say, yes, a homemaker absolutely does have a positive effect on her family. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I really appreciate you all so much. And if you have anything to add, please do in the comments. I always love hearing from you. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.